Welcome to a moment of intriguing introspection beyond the realms of fear, hesitancy, and doubt. A deep dive into the questions of the ages shared with the courage that may challenge perception, yet teases open the expansive depth of conscious awareness. This is a rare and unique moment in our collective history. And beyond all sense of dogma, I am Master Lady Kira Ra, promising to call forward the essence of all that you are. Join me as I offer the latest self-ascension revelations with supportive wisdom. And why not remember that peace, love, and joy are your birthright? So this is the moment to bring your hand to your heart and to give yourself the gift of relaxing into a deep breath with a wondrous exhale. I look forward to joining you right now in another episode of Expanding Consciousness. Welcome to Expanding Consciousness. I am Master Lady Kira Ra, and as it is every time you tune into this podcast, or whether or not you're catching this as a video over at YouTube, official Stream Kira, it is in all ways my honor and my pleasure to be here with you right now. Thank you for the gift of your presence. And that's really where I want to begin today, presence. As I spent the past few days, as I do every week, really gazing at the energetic shifts that are happening around this extraordinary potentiality, really embodying them, witnessing them, while simultaneously aware of how they are pulsating through my own experience of this life-informed awareness. All of that in this essence of this extraordinary moment that we have now arrived into. We are here, this is it moment. And in the totality of that, and in the vastness of that, and in the weaving alchemy of that, what's been really showing up is kind of almost behind the scenes, right? Take that moment, like bring your hands, if you can, if it's safe to do so. If you're driving, please don't, just kind of bring your consciousness there, but bring your consciousness, your awareness to your heart, bring your hands to your heart. And as you do, as you bring your hands to your heart, just kind of really offer yourself a moment to relax into the depth of all that you are, to just really exhale. And as you exhale, to let go of anything else. It's that ultimate let go, let God, right? Is that ultimate exhale. Knowing that with the next inhale, it's the Ave, it's the heartbeat moving up into all that is. Thinking of that heartbeat, hand still on that heart. Is it glub, glub or Ave? Glub, glub or Ave? To really embody the energy and the essence of the universal heartbeat, the Ave Sa, and relaxing your hands from your heart and just really feeling the radiance, the potentiality of a deeper sense of peace. And that deeper sense of peace comes through what I always use as a code word for the brain, understanding. As we, not governed by the brain, simply as the commander of this entire beautiful moment, right? As we invite the brain to relax, as we invite the conscious awareness of that which we are to command all of that, we begin to remember that in the essence of the perennial questions, why am I here? Right behind that comes, and why am I doing what I do? Why do I do what I do? Why do I continue to do it? Why does it move forward the way it does? What is the propulsion mechanism? What is it that keeps the me moving forward? And I want you to really breathe into that right now, because that can be received through many different filters. And also notice how you're receiving that. Notice your heart, notice your chest, notice that Ave presence, right? Or did it have a momentary hiccup or a holding of the breath? Because right behind the scenes is always the why do you do what you do? I actually get that question answered or asked a lot. Why would you give your life to this? Why would you do this? Why would you spend every minute, every breath dedicated to the yoga of self-ascension? Why did my beloved husband, wisdom teacher Sri Ramkal, literally ascend so that this could keep going, so that we would have a shot at really being able to be here now? Those big whys, those big questions are coming out everywhere right now. So much so that I invite you, if you're catching this at amfm247.com or on any of the AM and FM stations that were broadcast on throughout the United States, go to the YouTube channel, YouTube, Official Sri and Kira, SRIANDKIRA, Official Sri and Kira, and watch the video that I recently put out answering, why am I here? Really inviting the self-inquiry into the understanding, right? Going full circle, which limits the mind and invites you to come forward. Understanding is like salve. It soothes the mind. It gives it enough moment so that when you do invite it to relax, it trusts you enough to do so because it understands. Is vastly different from it is. It understands is an energy experience of this field of potentiality and the formed awareness of density. It is the eternal presence. It is. It understands, sets up a lateral spin. It is the stabilizing beam that holds it together. And remember that if you think of that as a cross of perfect balance, here's what's so extraordinary to remember about that, because it really brings us back to the why, which is where we're going. Why do we do what we do? And why do we keep doing it? Well, look at that cross of perfect balance. If the lateral ignition, if the it understands is the lateral ignition, then that it comes from the spiritual component of the 5 medicines and how you've risen up into that. But the bar, what holds that in this field, what starts the understanding actually begins in the emotional body. Remember, we come in the physical, 12 o'clock, we fall into the emotional, 3 o'clock, that then falls into the mental, 6 o'clock, that then lifts and sees the spiritual at 9 o'clock until it can fully reunify and come into the center, the middle, the void, the eternal nature, where it is. So when it understands, it's moving from that 9 o'clock straight across to 3 o'clock, which means it understands has a highly emotional component because it is frequently based upon resolving fear. It understands is looking for a way to stop being afraid. Remember that when people are afraid, they will give away their power. And when people are terrified, they will give away their soul. If anyone was to ask me, and I get it a lot, why do I do what I do? To help as many as possible hold on to that soul. Not only to hold on to it, but to literally remember its capacities and what it can do and how easy it is to call it in. And whatever phraseology, whatever words, whatever means soul to you, in the energy of the consciousness and the energy of the 5 medicines, right there in the center is always the pillar of consciousness, the eternal moment, the Shiva Linga. It has no beginning, it has no end, the allness, the totality from which we come out and we come in, we come out and we come in. And when we're in that totality, we are in the exquisite dance of the divine oneness of the knowing. And so as we are here right now, as we are being invited into the totality, into the absolute moment of knowing that veils lift as consciousness rises. Remember that. All veils lift as consciousness rises. And it's very much a beautiful journey because we keep adapting our vision. It's like an ever greater adaptation of the way we see. Your consciousness is your veil. Thereby, if your consciousness is your veil, you are unable to see the veil until your consciousness adjusts to another experience or frequency. As your consciousness rises, so does the veil that you did not even know was there because your consciousness was the sustaining force of the veil to begin with. And as consciousness moves, right, it moves in many directions. We're in this ever refining spiral. So as consciousness is spiraling up, those veils are, I like to think of as little fans, right? Little fans of illuminated sparkles are lifting those up, right? Those veils are all coming off. And if we're spiraling in a downward motion, then it's a cooling air, it's a shade. You know, in the lessons of light, which are available at our website and also is in our book 2012 Atlantean Revelations, lesson 11 is all about the shadow and about the recognition that, you know, some plants grow better in shade, as Archangel Zadkiel said. Why do we do what we do? Because that is why you're here. Why am I here? Go watch that video. It's short, it's powerful, it's YouTube right now. But why am I here? Well, at the end of the day, if you look back at the supreme sciences, if you look back at the perennial philosophies, and this has been really up a lot, right? It's three things. And if you were to take all of those together, at the end of the day, it's to remember. It's to remember your truth. It's to remember that which you are despite all of it. It's that moment where you open up the door and there it is, the real world. And nothing was able to stop you. Nothing was able to take you away from that. That's the why do I do it? That's that core source of energy. That's that resolution, the resolution. That's the remembering. That is the moment where you are able to call forward command of the physical body, completely shift how it looks, grow all new hair if you want to, reverse age if that's your mission, if that's what you're here to do, to be able to command what your absolute being is with the full conscious awareness of the expanded nature of your eternal soul presence. Because this body of form is capable of sustaining that. And come down here, say hello. I'll show you how real it is. You are capable of doing this if you give yourself the gift and let go of that 6 o'clock mind position and invite in the unified field of your conscious awareness that is spinning with it, that is inviting the law of instantaneous manifestation to be present, to literally know that we are capable and are right now calling into our informed awareness. I'm actually teaching this in July. Go to ShriAndKara.com and be there. We are able to right now be in the weaving of the quantum alchemies. And this begins with that anima spiritus corpus, right? Which is the triple prime, the tria prima, the mercury sulfur salt. That which is the elemental frequency that sustains in this potentiality the base energies of the alchemy. And then why do we do what we do? Because we come here and we enter into the cycle of those 5 medicines, the physical, the emotional, the mental, the spiritual, with consciousness holding it all together. And as we do that, we begin to remember and we ignite from within that pillar of light. And it really comes down to, how do I keep that open? Right? That's really what it comes down to, is why do I do what I do? Well, let's backtrack a second. Let's take a sip of tea, right? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a sip of my wonderful tea here. Middle of the world. There you go. Quito, Ecuador, right there. Aren't those beautiful? These beautiful Cañari women. They live right over there. although we're not in keto, but these are kenyati. And so let's step back a minute and really breathe in, first and foremost, to you are at a moment, you are connecting with this, whether, and I'm time stamping this in, whether you're connecting with this in its first release, whether you're connecting with it thousands of years from now, whatever archive you find this in, this recording, this podcast, Expanding Consciousness, is meant to be a library of material for those that are ready to be in their ascended mastery presence while in this body of form, in this specific potentiality. To know that you do not need any form of artificial intelligence to expand your brain. You do not need to do anything other than come forward into the truth of that which you are, which is this destiny density moment that is at hand. In the energy of the clarity of the freedom outside of that which is seeking to entrap you in that 6 o'clock, really enslaved position of the mind, in the freedom of that release and lifting up into all that you are, your truth, the life you're here to live, has already chosen you. Really breathe that in. You can fight it, you can deny it, you can be afraid of it, you can not see it. Doesn't matter. It's still chosen you. And the reason it has is why you're here. Right now, the illusion of time, and this is so vast that I'm doing tons of shows, really important trainings. You need to be there in July. You jump into the language codes now. Be here in September. We are at such a moment of white water experience that it doesn't matter whether you've ever been trained to do anything or not, or whether you think you're ready or not. You're here, you're in the raft, so come on up front and let's have some fun. Your moment is in front of you. This moment is in front of you. Why do you do what you do? Because every single thing in your life has brought you here right now. Right now. Your mind is expanding. And if you're not doing it with your own conscious awareness, if that's not your pathway, then that's why other pathways are arriving. Because this is happening and nothing's going to stop it. So why not command the ship? Why not say, yeah, let's do this? If you want longevity, if you want to bring this body of form into the cycle again where it was originally crafted, where it can easily carry 300 years, and in this potentiality, 120, very doable as the consciousness rises. If you really want to do that, then it is imperative to let the mind relax and be in the flow of what's expanding around you rather than resist it. Resistance causes aging, breakdown, and deterioration. Jumping into the flow is why we do what we do. Because if you jump in with conscious awareness, you're able to actually be in the experience of the non-judgment, in the full embodiment, while in this body of form, of your totality of conscious awareness, as is the most that can be sustained by this body, which is what the yoga of self-ascension is inviting you to do. It's why Shri ascended, so that this body of form could contain the Shri Kira together, to be able to demonstrate how quickly the mind can expand, how quickly new things can arise, how quickly everything reveals itself when your singular focus, and here's the big secret, when your singular focus is centered in steadfast commitment. I mean, commitment that goes beyond commitment. It is steadfast. It is that essence commitment. It is the knowing beyond knowing beyond knowing beyond knowing that no thing can take from you. That no matter what is thrown at you, no matter what happens, you keep going. Because you are so clear. And that's the gift of the clarity of the yoga of self-ascension. That's the gift of the clarity of the why do we do what we do? Because number one, you're here right now. We do it for each other. We do it for each other. And when we're consciously aware of that, when the sacred sequence of incarnation is absolutely 100% anchored, when you know it, and when everything around you would have challenged you, when you would have been easily able to throw it away, when, as Archangel Zadkiel says, when going backward is going to feel like going forward, and when going forward is going to feel like going backward, that's when you're going to know. That's when you'll know. And so it begins with steadfast commitment. And then with all this steadfast commitment, which brings the peace, right? Which stabilizes. Steadfast commitment brings peace because you're no longer looking everywhere. You're clear. Steadfast commitment brings the peace, which stabilizes the first chakra of this body, thereby bringing peace and safety. Don't have to worry anymore. I'm clear. I'm clear. And so with that steadfast commitment, we lift and we move into focused awareness, where we're, as Archangel Zadkiel would say, where we keep our eyes on the divine at all times, where we lift into the eternal self-inquiry. What in me invited this to be? Why do we do what we do? What in me invited this to be? To continually expand consciousness itself, to see how beautifully, wonderfully, and with incredible love, we can expand and support this extraordinary moment. And that's where that second chakra, that creation energy, comes in. It comes in through our focused awareness because we begin to create through love. And so all creation begins to organize around us. We have this peace through this steadfast commitment that says, I'm right here. I am not going anywhere. I've got this. And then we have this moving into our second chakra that is creating through the gift of love, through our focused awareness. We are only focused on the positive. We are only focused on the vision. And then at the end of the day, it is complete trust. Complete trust. The trust that will have everything thrown at it. And I can tell you, when my beloved Sri Ramka ascended, when that happened on January 18th, 2024, to this moment, to today, as I'm recording this, Monday, June 3rd, 2024, I have had to really look at my own level of trust. Complete trust is the key. It's when you stop wandering. Complete trust is the knowing. It is that third chakra that lets go, lets God, and is actively in the presence of that beautiful steadfast commitment, focused awareness, and complete trust, unified. Why do we do what we do? Why do we keep going? Because in the energy and the connection of the divine mastery presence, which Sri and I have been very blessed through all of the sacred anointing protocols, which were, I still get breath. I can't believe I'm going to get to teach you in July, but through all of these openings, through all of this moment right now, we have arrived. And why do we do what we do? Why did Sri and I do? Why did my husband give his absolute life essence? Was so that you would be able to do it, so that more of you could do it. Sri and I have always inserted in timelines in what's just a little ahead to make sure that you're finding us right now. And one or both of us, I wish it would have been a both of us, but one or both of us will always be here until enough of you receive that. You are capable of doing this. You can open all of it. And it's not hard. But it does require gazing at the truth and gazing at yourself and knowing that you are lovingly supported and held through all of the self-inquiry. Sri and I did it for you, and we did it for your children and your children's children. We have put everything we are into Tosa Blue Mountain. Help, come be a part of it. Be here. Day, week, month, years, build, rent, what do you want? Come be part of the new world. Let yourself come and learn. When you are ready to carry within you the clarity of knowing that why you're doing what you do, as Shri and I did. You never work, you just live. Your life is your work. And through that, you become the ascended presence and serve all. Whether their level of consciousness can receive that service or not matters not. What matters is that your very presence will give others the gift of discovering theirs. And is that not the greatest gift of all? To know that together we are better. To imagine that with every breath and with every minute, to only see the highest in everyone, inviting each to reflect that, thereby living in the experience of that. I am as you are. Why do we do this? Why are we here? Steadfast commitment, focused awareness, complete trust, and the absolute joy of really celebrating our capacity to do it together, to expand beyond where we have ever gone before, and to do it while we are still in a body of form. As my beloved Sri Ranko would always say, you do not have to die to ascend. It's happening right now. I love you with all my heart. Get to SriAnkira.com. Be there in July. Learn the sacred anointing protocols. It's time for you to remember how extraordinary you are. I love you with all my heart. I look forward to being with you again really soon. Many blessings. Thank you for joining me on Expanding Consciousness. Learn more about the Yoga of Self-Ascension at SriAnkira.com and make sure you're subscribed to YouTube official Sri and Kira. Remember, you are the gift. I love you and look forward to being with you again. Namaste.